What is up, Janksters? It's your boy Graham, also known as HamHawks42 on the internet, and today I want to talk about a card that's coming in Alchemy Horizons Baldur's Gate that is not necessarily confusing in how it works. It's fairly straightforward, but I feel like it's an interesting kind of case study, if you will, on Alchemy Horizons and what we can expect from the set as a whole. And that card is the Hourglass Coven. The Hourglass Coven is a 3/3 for 6 that when it enters the battlefield, draft a card from Hourglass Coven's spellbook twice, then put those cards onto the battlefield, and other warlocks get +1/+1. So it's an interesting card because you get to draft from a spellbook twice, which is kind of cool, and they go straight to the battlefield, which is interesting. Well, frankly, it better be good because it's a 3/3 for 6. You better get some good stuff. So buffing up warlocks is something. We had some warlock synergies in Strixhaven, so there are some other warlock creatures running around out there, but for the most part, that's a creature type that is more kind of irrelevant. However, all of the cards in the Hourglass Coven's spellbook are warlocks. Now, all of those warlocks are 2/2s. Every last one of them. There are 9 of them in total. And let me just pull them up on screen so you can see them. Now, the designs of these cards are fine. I don't have any issue with what they do. They each have some kind of benefit that either buffs warlocks or gives you some kind of bonus at the beginning of your upkeep. Forcing your opponent to discard cards, drain life, giving your other warlocks menace. All right, these are all fine things, and the ability to kind of mix and match how you put these on the battlefield when you play your Hourglass Coven is fine. Also, being able to blink or flicker Hourglass Coven, sacrifice it, bring it back, do those kind of shenanigans to get a ton of these warlocks could be a very interesting strategy that could result in almost something that feels kind of like slivers, come to think of it, where they're kind of buffing each other up as they grow, which is kind of fun. But the issue, I have one glaring issue with this, which I'm sure you can see the moment that you look at them, and that is every single card in the Hourglass Coven spellbook has the exact same art. What the heck, Wizards? These are all unique cards in their own right. Granted, they all have the same naming convention as well, Hag of such and such, because we're in a fantasy setting, so you need to have that of in there. That's very important, as any fantasy author can tell you, or any avid fantasy reader. It's very important. Think about it. Lord of the Rings, Wheel of Time, anyway. So Hag of such and thing, stuff and things is just... It's whatever. The thing is, when you're playing against someone who mobilizes this, and especially if they're doing shenanigans that mobilize it multiple times, you could very easily be looking at a board with 4 or 6 of these hags on the field, all with different effects, but they all look exactly the same. I have a huge problem with that. Huge problem. In Magic, the shorthand that we all have, we memorize cards as we go, and we associate the art with those cards. It's how the game works on a very fundamental cognitive level. When we look down and we see a Rafine on the opposite side, we see a Sphinx that's posing regally with some stuff shimmering in front of her. And we know, okay, that's a 1/4 flyer with Ward 1 that has some connive action on attacks. I know that because I've played that card, I've played against the card, and I recognize the art, and so there's a shorthand in my brain, I don't have to read it every time. We do that for thousands of cards. It's just what we do. The fact that Wizards is putting the exact same artwork on every single one of these cards completely disrespects that. And more than that, I believe it shows the level of effort that is being put into Alchemy Horizons. Which is unfortunate because I have no doubt there's some people over at Wizards of the Coast who are working very hard on this set. But clearly, I don't know if it's a budget issue. I don't know if it's a resources issue. I don't know what is going on. But we're not getting the Pioneer sets because effort is being spent on these alchemy products. Meanwhile, by the looks of it, by looking at these as well as the specialty cards, which I've talked about in another one of my videos, they look like, they're unique designs. The gameplay of it looks like it was well thought out. However, the aesthetics and the functionality of the card itself, just at a base level, by all having the same art, in the case of the specialized creatures with like a color filter modified over top of it, but even then we get a color filter. Fine, I can live with that. That's something. It's like, oh, that Viconia is green. Okay, good to know. That's this one. If I bother to memorize the alchemy set, we'll see. But in this case, all of the hags look absolutely identical. Every single time you play against this or you play this, you will have to hover over the card to see what it does and what it is. That is just frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. And when I say that it shows the amount of effort going into this set, it leads me to believe that instead of getting Pioneer Masters or not Pioneer Masters, instead of getting Pioneer Horizons or Pioneer anthologies that can help turn Explorer into Pioneer on Arena, we're getting this half-baked thing for a format that nobody asked for to begin with. And I find that very, very frustrating. If you're going to go all in on Alchemy, do it right. Like, if you're going to go all in on Alchemy, give us unique art for each unique card. Show us that you care about it if that's your focus. So I had to get this off my chest. This is which is really unfortunate too. Much like the templating of Lagrella the Magpie, a cool design was overshadowed by a really confusing text box. I have a feeling this is a cool design that somebody worked hard at that is going to be completely overshadowed by the fact that we're getting 10 cards with identical artwork that all function uniquely. I think that is a huge problem, and it is going to cause a ton of frustration in Alchemy and Historic, which is the last thing those formats need right now. So, Wizards, if you're listening, please, in some future update, change this. Give us unique artwork. I know artwork is expensive, but if this is a product that you're trying to sell, put the effort into it and make it a product worth buying. So thank you so much. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, if you want to hear more of my thoughts on these cards like it, the state of Arena as well as Commander, I do both. Please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. It makes a huge difference, as well as hit the thumbs up while you're down there. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the next one.